Is the world an illusion to the individual who perceives it?
Then, what are the questions you have?
Okay, the other questions are time and space in that case an illusion too? Has this revelation been happening to Shankaracharya by investigating about the world or investigating about one's own self? Are the investigation about the world and investigation about one's own self the same?
Are they same?
Yes. What is the nature of the world? Is it real or unreal? Is it substantial or insubstantial?
Any more questions?
I think that's it for now.
Everything is revolving around one basic premise of Adhi Shankaracharya. He has given this Brahmam Satyam, jagat mithya. Jagat mithya, Brahmam Satyam, that's what he has said. Let us not bother about the meaning of Brahmam. What he actually meant is totality. Totality. The one intelligence, the source. That is what is termed in Hindu scriptures as Brahmam. Aham Brahmasmi, all these Veda Vakyas, they are all framed with this. I am Atma Brahmam. All these are all framed with this, the word Brahmam. Actually, what he meant is totality. The moment we say totality, basically space and time. It's a spatio-temporal reality. The moment one says totality, individuals are all included. The past, present and the future individuals. Complete. Everything, the whole manifestation falls in this. He says this complete cosmos of the world is unreal, illusion. Jagat mithya. Mithya means illusion. It's just like mirage. So as we travel in car during summer times, at a distance we see water
like appearance.
Water-like appearance. And if one takes it seriously and goes towards it, it becomes elusive. Nothing as such is found. Because of concurrent causes and conditions of the climate and the smooth surface, the mirage is created, isn't it?
Yes.
Whereas upon investigation, it seems to be, it goes unreal. It's an illusion. Similarly, an individual. What about an individual? What is his waking state? You tell me. What is the basic assumption or the premise on which an individual lives his waking state, life? What is the premise?
The basic assumption is that when during every daily activity faculties or during the thoughts, whether it is physical or inter-psychological, we constantly believe that we are the doer.
We are the?
We take up, we are the doer or performer, and we take ownership.
Ownership of the body also. Huh?
Yes.
Basically the body.
Yes, absolutely.
Because that is the at the forefront is the body, association with the body, the bondage with the body, physical body. It is like any other structure that is seen in this world, isn't it? We see the mountains, the oceans, the animals, and everything, the plants, all the rest of it. Similarly, a physical appearance is available with a psychological seeing of it, feeling of it, being of it, rather. Psychologically, one is linked with the body, connected to the body, psychologically. That is why any statement that is spoken out by anyone, any human being, under the substratum of any speech, there is this strong feeling about himself as the physical body. Is it real? That feel, is it real? Is it an authentic truth that one can depend upon?
What is the thing you're talking about? Whether that is the truth or not?
See, the moment you speak, actually, upon my speech, which were heard by you, you are now reacting with a question, right? So the listener in you was the body, basically. Behind every thought, underneath every thought, there is this strong feeling of oneself as the physical body. Can one depend on this? Is it real to be depended upon? Eh? No, see, it is unreal. But the speaker, the person who says it unreal, is responding it through the body only. Now you said it is unreal, but the very response or my speech, the questioning, both are they physical or what? Yes. Through body only we will have to act, be it speech or listening or whatever it may be. But when one person is alone, without any one to relate with through talk or to listen to or to do or things, what is he? How he lives? When one is alone, physically one is alone, not the senses under action. See, these are all See, these are all statements you are giving me, but how does generally one feels when one is alone without his senses being active? When one is alone, even that aloneness is in the body only. Am I right? It's a relative state of existence. See, one is surrounded with people, one is acting or doing something as a physical activity, and one is left with nothing to do, and no one. One with the See, this is see, whatever that you have said has come out of understanding. But for a generally one person, when he is alone, he feels no one is there. That is why he is alone. He may be mentally involved with his own past experiences. He might be planning something. Psychologically, he might be busy. Psychologically, that is how everyone is. How generally everyone lives. What are we actually inquiring into? So one is never alone. That means one is the body, right? One is the body always. Whether being alone or amidst people, one is nothing but his physical body. At the periphery as well as at the deep. Inside of the psychology also. This is what he questions. This is what through this statement, Adhi Shankaracharya has asked. Jagat mithya. Jagat mithya. Is Jagat mithya? Is the world unreal? Illusion? Is it an illusion? Basically, one thinks oneself as the body and takes the world that is being perceived as real. That he is in the world. All put together, he has asked this question. He has passed this statement. The moment he passed this statement that the world is an illusion, that includes an individual also. Now we have started it with questioning the very existence of the individual, how he actually carries out his moment-to-moment living during the waking state. Is he mostly identifying himself with the body, or does he think that there exists a psychological subtle body also? Does he differentiate at all, or does he take everything as one, both the mind as well as body as one unit, and living in the body? Living in the body and living as the body, as the physical body. Fundamentally, we have to understand all these things with without which anything beyond this mind and body to be realized, one cannot come to that level. Vivek, are you there? Is it not essential to be clear about this?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. How do we live? So we live as body. We live as the physical body. And for that, the psychological self, the mind, helps a lot in perpetuating it. Perpetuating everything that is born out of this association with the body, that is being perpetuated by a psychological self throughout waking state. Throughout waking state. Basically, one thing is very clear at the outset: both world and individual are the same. That is what he must have meant while using that word, jagat is mithya. The world is an illusion or unreal. Unreal. That means individual is an illusion. Individual is an illusion. From when this individuality comes into being in one's life, from when onwards this individuality, this separate individual, unique identity comes into being in oneself. No, but when actually this whole system comes into action in an individual, this whole unreality or this illusion comes into action. From when? Is it not only the waking state? That is what I have been asking. From when onwards the individual comes into being? The moment the feeling of the I as the body as well as the psychological mind wake up, the individual wakes up with that. This is what he has said. Jagat is mithya. Jagat is an illusion. Taking all the three states of existence into consideration, he must have inquired only with the individual, because individual is the world. With an individual's waking up from deep sleep, the world comes into being, the world of names and forms. Be it the biggest mountain Himalayas or the oceans, whatever, the stars, the galaxies. And subatomic particles also at the subtlest level. Because the human being is endowed with both his perception is endowed with both to see the subtlest and the grossest, and to differentiate, analyze, know, discriminate. This is what is he is endowed with an intellect. The intellect does all these things. With the same intellect, should not one question about the individuality itself? Should not one doubt about his individuality itself? Because all superstructures are built upon the individual's waking state. He is the builder of it. He constructs. He has taken them as something real with his own physical body as well as his psychological self, psychological movement, the mind, the thoughts, the feelings, the experiences, the likes and dislikes. I have and I have not, and all these kinds of dualities. The speech, the seeing capacity, all the 5 sensory perceptions, all the rest of it. Through the sensory perceptions, the world is configured or taken something as very real, authentic, together with the seer, the senses as well as the body, and the individuality called the psychology. The whole paraphernalia, this group, where do they go in deep sleep? Suppose in my waking state, my friend who has come to my house after a tiring travel, he is fast asleep. Assume that after waking up he is going to tell me that he went through a dream. He has dreamt something about going to some mountain and all the rest of it, having some different experiences, and that he is going to say it to me after getting up. And now that in my presence, on one side of my hall, I have been reading newspaper. On the other side, he is fast asleep. He is enveloped in dream. He is undergoing a dream at that moment. An external world of a mountain is created in his dream, and he is trekking in that mountain. He is having different sorts of experiences. For me, who is just sitting about 3 or 4 feet away from him while he is fast asleep, I don't see any mountains or anything is created in that particular place where he is sleeping. His body is under sleep. I don't see anything is created at all. And at the end of his sleep, after he has slept considerably for some time, he has woken up and he has been explaining me about this dream that which he underwent while he was reading the newspaper just by his side, sitting in a corner. He says that he has dreamt about a very big hill in which he and his friends are trekking, and having different kinds of enjoyable as well as agonizing experiences also. It's a combination of both pleasurable and pain-giving experiences, which he explains later. For me, who was physically sitting by his side in a corner and reading the newspaper, my truth was totally different. I saw him sleeping, that's all. No mountains, no experiences of that person with his friends trekking, nothing was seen by me. And now, after that, sleep was over. He has been telling that he was in the mountain with his friends. He was having all kinds of experiences, both pleasurable and painful.